All right, let's bring in KT McFarland, former Trump Deputy National Security Advisor. Great to have you back on the program, KT. Good to see you. So where do you see this all going from here?
You know, this is a long time in coming. In President Trump's first term, he was very upset with the NATO allies because they weren't paying their fair share towards our common defense. We paid 75% of the cost of NATO. And now it's really been exacerbated because the Strait of Hormuz, they want us all to keep open the Strait of Hormuz. They expect America should keep it open. And it's not our trade route. It's the trade route that goes between Europe and the Middle East and Asia. And when President Trump asked for some assistance, they said no. When we asked him, we have American aircraft refuel in NATO bases, which, by the way, we paid for. NATO bases in Europe, a number of countries, Spain and others, said no. When we asked, well, can we at least fly our aircraft over your countries on our way to the Middle East? No. And so I think this is the frustration has been building for a long time, and this has brought it to a head. My sense is that when the Iran war is over, and I do think it will be over, and I think it will be over shortly, that there will be a major reassessment on the part of the United States of, you know, what should our NATO alliance look like? What should our NATO partners be paying? How should we have a common defense? And then reassessing, as long as the NATO alliance remains intact, which I think it will, maybe what the United States should do is shift some of our basing assets and our assets further east into what used to be Eastern Europe.
KT, here's Mark Rutte earlier today on the future of the NATO alliance. Listen.
I'm confident NATO collectively and allies individually will similarly act to break down barriers and unleash the potential of defense industry on both sides of the Atlantic. The NATO of the future is not an alliance in which allies are unhealthily dependent on the United States and in which the United States knows that it has capable partners who are ready, willing and able to defend our freedom and security.
Quite clearly trying to put out a united and optimistic front, KT.
Look, he's got a hard job because the Europeans, they can't do it. I mean, they've made deliberate decisions in the last 20 years, Sandra, to deindustrialize, to demilitarize, to not use their own energy, to be dependent upon Russia and Middle Eastern energy, and their defense industrial base is atrophied. So even if they wanted to help, they'd have a hard time helping. They don't have the military equipment to help. They have some minesweepers, they have some assets here and there, but they can't help as we might have otherwise wanted them to. Maybe what happens at the end of this is that, all right, the Strait of Hormuz is open, America opens the Strait of Hormuz, maybe some of our European allies, maybe not NATO, but a coalition of the willing might help with keeping the Strait of Hormuz open or maybe escorting tankers, often their own tankers, through the strait.
KT, appreciate you joining us today. It's good to see you.
Nếu quý vị thấy nội dung này hữu ích, xin hãy ủng hộ kênh bằng cách nhấn đăng ký, bấm thích và để lại bình luận bên dưới. Sự đồng hành của quý vị là nguồn động lực quý báu để chúng tôi tiếp tục mang đến những nội dung tốt hơn trong các chương trình tiếp theo.